Joe.
We're on, huh? I'd like to welcome everybody tonight to the Village of Holly Park Commission meeting for October 1st, 2025 at 6 p.m. at the council chambers. I call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. Roll call, please.
Okay, Kyer,
Here.
Peltonen,
Yeah.
McCanny, Hutchins,
Here.
Hamilton. Here. Taylor.
Here.
Keikos.
Here.
Sarah's going to be a little late for the meeting. I'd like to entertain a motion to excuse her at this time.
I'll make that motion. So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Moving along, approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any additions or subtractions from the agenda that's in front of them tonight?
I guess I asked for it last meeting to be put on the agenda to discuss the handicap ramp at the big pavilion at Lakeside Park. It didn't get put on the agenda, but can we talk about it for a minute tonight? Is that okay? Or it can go on next month's agenda. We just need to talk
Well,
about it.
without having Brian here to
Yeah.
discuss the ramp and the construction of it, I guess we should have that put on next month's agenda.
Okay, I think you're
That
right.
sound good?
Because we're gonna need to estimate and figure out if it could really be done.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I entertain a motion to accept the agenda as submitted.
So moved.
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same side. Motion carried. Approval of the minutes from September 3rd, 2025.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of September 2025.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving on to public comment. Members of the public can address the commission once recognized by the chairperson. Comments are limited to a maximum of 4 minutes for the items not on the agenda. Commission may extend this time by up to an additional 4 minutes by a majority vote. For items on the agenda, comments may be made after commission discussion prior to commission vote. Prior to addressing the commission, members of the public shall state their name and address for the record. Is there any public comment? Thank you, gentlemen. Hearing none, seeing none, let's move on to old business. Item 1, the budget. Our budget is $25,000. And does anybody want to discuss what we want to do on the budget, or?
I'd like to put a ramp in at the park. But we'll discuss that next month.
Definitely.
That'll be
Well, I think we've already
January.
agreed. We've got the playground equipment,
Yeah.
and there was a couple other things that we
Yeah.
were working on.
We kept it on the agenda just for an update, if anybody comes up with some more ideas.
Do you
And-
know where we are on the bouncy?
No, not yet. Township Parks is still working on it.
Okay.
And Brian's supposed to bring us some more prices too for some of our budget items. In fact, he's going to research the bouncy things because we're not doing too good out at Township Parks finding like bouncies.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else like to discuss anything on the budget?
I'm not sure when something would be applicable to discuss on the budget, sorry.
Anytime.
I would like to discuss the condition of the signs at Waterworks Park. They are pressboard and they are falling apart. They are in tatters at this point. I do know that a garden is about to go in around that sign, and perhaps we don't want to draw attention to a dilapidated sign. Maybe we
Yeah.
could come up with a way to fix the sign.
Over the last few years, we've been trying to upgrade our signs, so they're all uniform, so you know that you're going to Holly Village Parks. So we'll bring that up at our next meeting for our budgeted items, because we've been working on signage.
Perfect, thank you.
Signs are not cheap,
No, they're not.
and we like to have them maintenance-free,
That would be good.
yeah. Anybody else?
Joe, just to remind everybody, we won't have another meeting until January.
Yeah, yeah, we shut down for November and December.
This is our last one.
We're already
till-
there.
Yep,
Yep,
so,
Isn't that crazy?
okay.
Yeah, it's just, wow.
Oh, time flies.
but we always can have we can always call a special meeting. It isn't like
Sure.
we can't do it.
Right, it's just.
So if something comes up and we want to have a special meeting, we have to post it, and we can have one. So there's always a chance of a meeting. Yep.
But I still think, January, we'll be able to get that to Brian, he'll have time to price it out.
Yep. Yep. Everybody, they're just finishing, maybe just finishing up your summer stuff if you're lucky, aren't you? Barely finishing up. Then we fall into fall and winter maintenance, and DPW is a busy bunch of guys.
Yeah, somebody did say something about, like, we did do stuff down there at the boat launch, like that we improved something down there. Do you know anything about that, Danny?
I know that they were gonna add gravel. I don't know if that happened
Okay.
or not.
No, I was just there.
Okay.
That's
I
what
can-
did for listeners
I can look
on the
into it.
discussion page.
I could look into it, what was budgeted or what was talked about, because I remember something was supposed to be done or was going to be done or.
Yeah, well, it's like where you go in the water, it's like, it has
Yeah.
dug out from the people pulling their boats up, so.
Yeah, power driving the boats up.
Right.
It's in the water at the end of the cement, yep.
And-
And hopefully,
Speaking of boat launch, I was gonna ask, did we ever entertain the idea of a dock out there or anything?
no, because the ice will take it out. And the other thing is, you have to get a permit from the county. And the other thing is, we were talking about extending slabs out so, in the water deeper, so it won't cause that erosion. That erosion's been happening now ever since we cemented it.
Would we have to remove a dock that you can do? I know out in Waterford, we're part of a private lake out there, and they do metal poles, and then they just do metal sections of dock, which can be removed.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing out there, if you walk out of the boat launch from here to my van out there, it doesn't get above your knees.
Right.
So that's why we're looking at extending the slabs so people don't power drive their boats up. At state launches, they'll give you a ticket for power driving your boats up on trailers.
Well, I know at like Seven Lakes, the state launches and that, the DNR, they use, manual docks, so they're on skids, where
Yep.
they pull them in and out.
Yep.
So, that's what I was just saying, like a dock would be nice there, just cause
Yeah,
you have tried to use a boat there and out, it is a pain to.
And people talked about, yeah, it was a focal point on the
Has it
local discussion
Yep.
page,
I know, I
where
just-
somebody was saying, like, to help, like, with fishing even,
Yep.
and they could just stand out there on the dock.
yeah. That's the biggest thing is usually a lot of the winds are out of the north and northwest in the winter when the ice breaks up, and it goes right up on shore pretty bad over there. And there's big trees in the way, and the topography goes right up a hill, so to pull a dock out, it's hard, or a floating dock, But we'll look into it,
It's just something to talk about.
Yep.
For the next, if we
Yep.
got it. If we're gonna upgrade, might as well make it a little nicer.
Yep. Any other questions or comments on the budget? Sarah?
Hey, Joe, I'm sorry I'm late.
That's okay. We
I
excused you,
had
yeah.
I had a point on the budget. We had inquired with DPW before with Brian about our contract, our parks maintenance contract. Does it include the weed whipping along, like say along the river and along the lakes? Because those are all seriously overgrown. He thought it did include that and that they just needed to be prompted to do it. Do we know if that was for sure, or do we need to budget accordingly to include that?
We'll have to look at his contract and see what it specifically spells out, like that work that we did and talked about having him do all of that. We never got back over there as the Department of Public Works to like pull all the stumps and make it like maintainable. So again, it's just a matter of time and people to be able to get it to the point that he would be able to maintain it. I'll have to look and see if we can pull his contract to see what it specifically says, if it really spells out the amount of trimming that he's supposed to do.
I'm not referring to the new area that we cleared this past time. I'm referring to just all along the shore.
Correct.
At Lakeside as well, it's been overgrown, except for it's still done in front of the pavilion, but all of that used to be cleared. the whole-
Lakeside Park is maintained still by the DPW. So
Not
if
by
some,
the same contractor.
correct, so if something at Lakeside isn't getting done, we can certainly address that.
And then also, I know that we have partnered with DDA and they're doing, they're spearheading the Adopt a Garden program, but would it make sense for us to put into our parks budget, having the landscape company do the flower beds that are, like, say alongside, at Waterworks Park, back to that park, alongside the road, that does, nothing up there gets weed whipped either. I think they run a lawnmower up between the road and the flower bed, but nothing gets done up close to the flower bed, so it's really overgrown looking. Is that something that we as a Parks Commission should try to budget for, or is that already included in our contract with them?
Again, I'll have to look and see what his contract specifically spells out.
Okay.
Because obviously, yeah, we would need to budget for more if there's gonna be more added on.
Yeah,
I know that he is very fairly priced at this point, so
Sure,
we need
I
to,
understand
we
that.
need to find out kind of what his contract is really spelling out.
I think that we should seriously look at budgeting for that if we do need to add to it, because, I mean, we, like, with our own front yards and backyards, we wouldn't mow the lawn and then not do, you know, the flower, not edge around the flower beds or get the weeds pulled. And we do have a volunteer program for Adopt a Garden, but it's not necessarily adopted all of the gardens yet. I think that it would be good to, at least the parks ones.
Correct, I head up that Adopt a Garden program, and it's had a decent traction for
I
the
think it's been
start.
great so
But
far,
we
yeah.
haven't had a lot of interest in like the main areas, so Crapo Park doesn't
Right.
have anything yet, Ganshaw doesn't have anything yet. I know Regina and her husband just adopted two in Waterworks, so.
Great.
It's slow. I'm hoping to do a little bit of PR this winter, so if springtime comes, we can have a few more.
Yeah. And on that note too, Crapo Park, we've always had DPW, or DDA has put it, I think, in their budget to have, they paid to have volunteer, or paid to have the weeds pulled in the parking structure areas, but that didn't happen this year. And I don't know for sure if it will happen next year, but that's another thing that we might want to look into budgeting with our lawn contract. Does the DPW do Crapo, or does that the contractor?
That's the lawn contractor, but those are listed
not-
on,
yeah, I know.
those are listed on the Adopt a Garden program as well.
They are, okay.
Yeah. So that's something that needs to be discussed internally, like what it looks like if we have an Adopt a Garden that's not being maintained.
What do we do?
What do we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just think we need to have a plan B, because there's a lot of park spaces that just haven't, you know. I like the Adopt a Garden plan the best, but yeah, like, we should have a plan B.
Yep.
Thanks, Danny.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, let's move on to item 2, Halloween. Sarah?
I believe it says Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween, yeah.
Halloween is well underway, the planning. It's gonna be the exact same footprint and features as last year. Holly Donuts has stepped up and they wanna donate all of the donuts for all of the kids. They'll be providing donut holes for approximately 1,000 people. Wingelmeyer Furniture and Wingelmeyer Gas are partnering up to sponsor the cider again. The American Legion and the VFW Hall are partnering up to sponsor the tractor rides. Holly Fire Department will be providing the bonfire. The Holly Dancing Witches are gonna be doing their performances. Trick or treating the downtown shops, and then also the costume contest is, I believe, Amber is volunteering to spearhead that. And she could use assistance if anybody wants to
Anybody?
help.
Well, I was watching last month's meeting and saw that you guys were still needing help for Halloween, and I would love to help in any way
Great.
that you need help. Like I said, my kids are pretty much grown at this point, so happy to lend a hand, and
All right, she's my helper.
There you go.
We do need on-site help for, it's from 3 to 6. We need assistance with just crowd management, just basically just, get placed somewhere and tell the crowd where to go, and just keep telling the crowd where to go. That's definitely a needed thing. We need, I think, 2 volunteers for the tractor rides to help with getting people on and off and managing that line so the line doesn't get in the way of the tractors. Anyway, so we do need some more volunteer help for the day off too.
I'll volunteer some help.
Thank you. Thanks.
Maybe even my kid when he's not running around.
Yep, thank you.
And maybe when we set up for Halloween, for the tractors, is have DPW put up some temporary snow fence to keep people behind the snow fence and not near the tractors.
If we have volunteers, it's really not hard to manage. It's just have volunteers put there. It's not an unruly crowd. Not until later. That's when the sugar kicks in. It will be dawn and gone by then.
Yeah, hopefully, yep. Any more comments or questions about Halloween?
No, just thank you as always, Sarah.
Chris, did you get any checks in from, I know that, I've still pick up the one from Winkelmeyer's, but did you get any checks from the American Legion or the VFW post yet?
not that I know of.
Okay, I'll follow up on those two then. And then, and I'll submit for a check for the DJ that we talked about last month. That she'll run all of the emceeing for the costume contest, which is very valuable to have somebody do that. And then also, she'll do a dance party and play the music, and then be announcing for the costume and do all the announcements.
Good.
But
Sounds
all
like
the
it.
rest of it will be, and I have to put in for cups and napkins and a couple of tablecloths. It's pretty nominal. It's like I think it's just under 100. So we're staying within the budget, which was under 500.
Good.
You know that the VFW has a new commander?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just
Yep.
want to make sure you had the proper contact.
Yeah, no, they've already approved it. Yeah.
Any other questions or comments about Halloween? Moving on to general business, we have none. Then we're going to move on to closing public comment. Same rules, 4 minutes. Is there anybody for public comment?
Floor is yours, boys.
Hearing none, seeing none, thank you,
Missed
gentlemen.
opportunity.
Thank you for showing up. No public comment. Staff reports. Danny?
Yeah, so I have a few things to talk about. Ganshaw Park, I wanted to read into, just to kind of be on the record. So I know that I've talked to you about the email between Patrick and I, who is in charge of the CHIPS grant. So I just want to read this email to you so it's on record. But he says, "Hi, Danny. We are in the process of Oakland County Park staff reorganization and revisioning, and I apologize that as a result, we are pausing the CHIPS grant and site visits throughout the natural resource evaluations and assistance programs. Once I receive additional directive, if this will continue, I will reach out and schedule a site visit. Alternatively, I suggest reaching out to Michigan Natural Resource, I suggest reaching out to Michigan Natural Features Inventory and potentially a contractor from our contractor list for an assessment of the fen." So I started reaching out to the contractors that CHIPS or SISMA would use. I actually got 2 callbacks today. Both parties are willing to come out and look at it. there is a cost associated, and I'm still waiting to try to find out what the cost is. With technology these days, they can kind of just look at it and online look and see kind of what they're looking at and possibly give us a cost. So that'll be a conversation with you guys, if it's something that we're willing to spend money on out of the budget, or if council is ready to do that as well. So these are all things that I'm working on to try to continue that project moving along. The one gentleman that I talked to from Davie Resource Group, he did say that like, if all of those cattails have really taken over to the point that it could have really killed the fen, and there might really not be anything left. And at that point, then we really have to decide what would be best and what we want to do. So it might change the plan up a little bit from what we kind of talked about, but really first steps first, what you guys are asking is, do we have a fen there or not? And so I'm working towards that still. There are multiple resources on that page. I've only reached out to 5 of them because they that was in their purview to do. So I kind of kept it small for now, and I'll keep reaching out to them for that. Any questions on that? The other thing was, they wanted me to give an update on the dam, and so we did get correspondence back, and Regina, you are the one, man. She is our public outreach coordinator for the dam committee, so if you could, sorry to put you on the spot, but
No,
maybe
I
just kind of
brought
inform everybody quickly on kind of what just recently happened and what we're doing for the dam
Yeah,
committee.
so we had been waiting to hear about the judge's ruling from court that we were in on August 12th and 13th, and unfortunately, the judge did rule against us and in favor of Eagle. So basically what that means is everything is still where it was before. Nothing changes. Their forced drawdown is still as it stands. We're still working on gathering signatures to try to establish a legal lake committee or a legal lake level. It's really the only way that we can see moving forward at this point. Unfortunately, we are on a major deadline now, as we did hear from Ryan from the Water Resource Commission. We could lose our ordinary high water mark by July 21st of 2027. That's the 2-year mark from when the drawdown first occurred. So if we do not basically fix things according to Eagle's guidelines and draw back up before then, this could potentially be our forever level.
Which is no level at all.
Which is
seems
no
like.
level at all. So we're worried about embankments and erosion at this point. So those are steps that we're discussing in the committee and trying to figure out safe ecological ways to move forward. But unfortunately, Eagle is completely silent. Absolutely no communication as what to do. So we're kind of just floating along, trying to make it work as a committee, but everybody seems very dedicated moving forward, and we're really just down to, under 10 signatures needed at this point to move forward with the county.
Do we have we had an assessment done now that the level is so low? Do we know what the cost would be for the repairs? Have we been able to do that yet, or no? Or is that not something that we're doing?
That's very much a loaded question, so I'll try to do it in the short way that I can. So, in terms of an assessment of like ecological impact, or what are you asking me?
The repairs that Eagle wants done in order to
Okay.
maintain it.
So Eagle has not really given us a clear directive of what that looks like, because then it would kind of be on them again if things were to fail, right? So basically, we have a general idea of what needs to be fixed, yes. SME did our study and soil borings and everything in 2005. And we know where the problems are. We know what we would need to do. We have in our committee somebody that is in the mining industry and has built a successful company, and he's reaching out to many local engineers to find out if anybody would be interested in helping engineer this project. It's a big undertaking. It's a big legality issue for an engineering firm to take this on. So the cost to do that is astronomical. And that's where the county comes in, because they've done this, they know what they're doing, and that's really what we need. So The committee is also drafting up a letter to write to Commissioner Bob Hoffman so that he can take it to his Board of Commissioners as well. That's another route, but that is also like the legal lake level route. So that's really what we're banking on.
Very limited options,
Yep.
unfortunately. Everything costs tens of thousands of dollars for all these assessments, and we really need the Water Resource Commission to help us move forward, just because of the multi-jurisdictional issues that we are facing, because so many of the residents are in Rose Township. Well, many of the affected residents, I guess I should say.
Great.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Welcome to your first meeting.
Yay.
Any other questions and comments?
That's all I have.
Chris,
Nothing from me. Thanks, Joe.
Raisa,
No, I said I had my speech.
okay. Gail, okay. Sarah,
Nope, I don't have anything other than what I already spoke.
Tim,
Nothing here.
Amber,
No real updates.
Regina.
I would just like to thank you all for having me here, and I'm excited to get started on these many projects with the Parks Commission. I'm passionate about nature and our parks and making them accessible and inclusive and able for learning through history and nature together. And I see that you guys have already been doing that for years already, so I'm excited to hop in and listen and learn and be here where I can.
Thank you.
And my report is to welcome Regina to the board. We're going to abuse you. Do you like snakes?
I actually do not dislike snakes. I think they're fine.
The only other thing I have to report is from Holly Township Parks. We've been running free chips and topsoil. We're going to be scheduling probably 2 loader experiences where we'll use our loader tractor to load anything you have, free of charge. All the chips you want. We got all the, the village got all their wood chipped. And there's a lot of chips out there. And so we're gonna try and pick up probably all the way into November, and then in the spring, good organic topsoil and all the free chips you want. And we'll load them. So watch our website when we're gonna start scheduling the loader tractor out there. And we'll fill them up. We've had decent luck with a lot of people getting chips. We probably got rid of about 100 yards of chips in the last month.
Great.
So we're working on that, and everybody's having fun. That's all I have to report. I'd like to adjourn the meeting at 6:28.